Not for broadcast. Ik ga niet al te veel zeggen. Laten we spelen. Ik heb een beetje gespeeld. Lang geleden. Dus het is al een tijdje geleden. Althans, hier is dat... Ja, die laat vandaag zien. Maar ik ben ook vorig jaar ergens, in het begin van het jaar ergens, het spel heb gespeeld. Nou, we gaan weer van start bij het begin.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Rijtje voor op gekte. Oké, gaan we weer.
Wicked, we made it to the first outbreak. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting.
Ja.
A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long.
Ja.
10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too
Ik ga
long.
stuk.
A couple of seconds is usually enough.
Die ad is wel...
See who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds.
Welkom
You've
thuis.
seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Oké. We gaan van start.
Thank you so much.
Half op hem.
10 seconds, everybody.
Oké, hem. Nee, hem.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy.
Oh, hij is de
Megan
acteur
Wolf,
dus.
culture
Oké.
correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to
shot
Blunderclatch
films
on screen 3 when
Blunderclatch.
she says his name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to
the
2 for the wide now.
May
Yes,
I say
sir.
having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and
So
stay
you've
on
just
whoever's
finished filming
talking.
your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as
Vertel.
I said to Peter at the wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us
Oh, hij
a
is
little
de...
Megan's
Oké.
reaction.
He's a
Dus hij is
wonderful
een
chap, He
acteur.
really is. I've
Lovely.
worked with
Now
him
back
on
to
several
Thunder,
movies,
twat.
all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly
Oh.
are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll
Bullet.
remember that was the true story.
Ze kijkt niet zo blij.
When soldiers fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that
$1
saw you
billion.
two Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Ja.
That is a beautiful
Vertel.
question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will.
Been on that shot a bit long.
Oh,
Often,
oops.
That's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire.
Aha, niemand dus.
The little people.
Ik ga
Most
stuk.
of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well.
Vertel.
Well, now you're
Politiek.
asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult.
Remember the 10-second rule?
I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which
Hey.
opens next week
Right,
around
they've
the
swapped
country.
the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character,
prima.
Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's
Lance
very survival.
Hemlock.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is really losing it in the studio.
Blunderclatch.
I'd love to hear what he's saying, but we can't find out now. We'll
Oh.
go to the Russia's room together once the broadcast's over.
I don't
Ja, prima.
understand it.
Ik ben wel benieuwd te zeggen daar. En even kijken.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Wat als we dit doen? Oh, nee.
That's Dr. Lance.
Hoe weet wat ze praten daar achter de schermen?
I did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, you remember? If only I listened to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told
Dokter!
me, but I didn't listen.
Dokter!
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all.
We hebben de cure.
We have to ask ourselves.
Maar voor wat?
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad.
Ja, oké.
Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Ja. Nu doen we Come to Bumley. Wacht, kunnen we die al spelen eigenlijk? Oh, dat was te snel. Was dat te snel? Ik weet niet.
The broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When
Ja.
someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you
Okay.
need to hold down the bleep button or the L2 button on your wireless controller for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of
Is het...
practice getting used to hearing 2 things.
Is dat controller?
Just stay
Is het
calm.
third wall breaking?
And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is
Oké, dan ga ik dat doen.
line. Simple.
Ik was alleen aan het schoonmaken hier. Wat stuur...
To take your eye off the screens.
Nu moet ik opeens schermen gaan bedienen.
Do it.
Een audio. Oké,
Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
dus die gaan we
As you
hoog doen.
turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder.
Ah,
You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1,
Only
2,
85 minutes from
and
the
hold
coast,
it
and
down.
with more than 2
Okay.
areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't
dus
it
die gaan we
time
lager zetten.
Select screen
Apparently you've been drinking since lunchtime.
Thanks for your long review once again.
God help whoever has to do this.
Oh, oké, we kunnen het al eerder doen. Oké, prima.
Personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Oké, doen we die lager en dan gaan we naar...
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get ready to
start?
bleep.
Go for it,
Oh,
Pat.
hij heeft lekker gedronken, joh.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebrating
pints. Ik doe het goed.
Coarser than the grandest fanny.
Oh, ik doe dat ook goed.
Memorably put.
No, you totally
But to
missed
be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, we've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things.
That's means.
But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
Just bleep the rude
today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time.
Hey, dat is mijn taak. En ik heb het goed gedaan. Zeker weten.
So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody. Same again tomorrow. Call times are on the board. So, same old boring politics then.
This is the story of you and how you're still.
I'm dying.
Ik wil weten wat er wat goed gebeurt.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Lekker even, nou. We hebben het gehaald. Nou, triple A plus, oké, ja, wat teken. Ja, bonuses wil ik wel. Oké, we gaan door. Oh, ik ben broke ass voor. Ja, ik was aan het schoonmaken. Ik was alleen aan het schoonmaken en ik wil opeens camera bedienen. Oh, zo, oké.
Alright, mate. Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes, and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Pop in there now.
Alrighty, sir.
That's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Sure.
Well, in a few moments,
Loading.
we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news.
Oké, die hoef ik niet meer te zien.
Right, now let's take a look at the rushes. Right,
Rushes.
this is the rushes route. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. And when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Ja, ik wil die wel horen in de achtergrond, wat er gebeurt. Dat is nou te rollen over mij en mijn werk. Ja, Jeremy, ik hoor die wel.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability in the best of times.
I know.
Ik ga
God
stuk.
help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5.
Oh, blijkbaar. Oké, ik wil verder. Ik wil verder, ja. Dag 3. Nou ja, dit ga ik gewoon skippen. Dit boeit mij niet zoveel. Bladibladibladibla. Ik ben hier alleen om geld te verdienen. En om goede uitzendingen te maken wat mij uiteindelijk meer geld laat verdienen. Ik ben letterlijk maar aan het schoonmaken geweest en toen moest ik opeens achter de schermen zitten en knopjes bedienen en audio bliepen en weet ik veel wat. Ik doe alleen mijn werk. Oh. Wie gaan er mentaal tekeer? Ja. Lijn. Hoe is die foto links beneden, joh? Van ons?
That's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on.
Oh ja.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
Oké.
Right, let's load up the adverts.
Ja, wacht even. Oké, zo, ja, oké.
Think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Echt waar? Dat wist ik niet. Even kijken. Crazy Hell, die hadden we niet gedaan. Wat is dit? Oké, interessant. Die wil ik checken. Wat is dit? Die gaan we op het einde doen. En even kijken, moeten we dit spelen? Weet ik niet, wat is het? Speelgoed. Sla ik over. Ja, deze doen we dan. Oké.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again. And the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they'll help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen.
Ja, oké.
It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Now you're in auto headline mode, so if you don't bother to pick a photo before that clock runs out, the machine's just going to pick one at random for you. I just want to say,
Oké, dus het moet op tijd zijn. Dan moet lukken.
pictures you choose to show these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose
Ja, nu van wie die foto is. Dat is van ons of van de vorige persoon die hier werkte. Ik ga stuk, oké.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
Ik ga stuk. Wat?
Not the best source of consumer advice then.
Nee,
Don't blame me
zeker
when it
niet.
explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Doei.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing
We gaan voor de lichtere foto.
with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborgen-Horgensford have today set off to explore the damage taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flood technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central
ze hebben het goed gedaan, dus dan doen we niet het vechten, maar deze.
This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving BASHH, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this program.
Ja,
Johnny is seen
as
socialite and performance artist Tiffany Lamar, whose recent show Snatched Inside My Snatch has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk to the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night, could this be exactly the right time to advance this new approach? All that and mega more for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oké, het gaat goed tot nu toe. Ik heb het ook al gedaan. Hier hoef ik niks te doen. Ik hoef volgens mij ook niks te doen. Oh, ga ik een lange intro. Jeremy, we gaan terug naar jou.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
No, Illuminati.
Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't what
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, advance are radical and change is always
Hij
frightening.
kijkt ook even van, wat gebeurt hier?
The Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilised, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
Yeah.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
Ja.
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course.
Duidelijk.
Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there.
En hoe?
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
Is die reclame gedaan?
I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan.
Hey,
I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
I don't know what she meant by that.
Ja, zou ik ook zeggen, joh. Wat gekke party zijn nou weer? Ik wil even dit horen. Wat smurfs zijn nou weer? Oké, wat gebeurt hier?
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country.
Zoals alles.
We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
We can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. Helen, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level, Jeremy.
I'm leaving, Greg.
Not all the time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh.
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Goed opgepakt.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there.
And who?
Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly.
Oh, like?
It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear?
Wat gebeurt daar? Wat?
As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Oh,
I was
damn.
slaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Back you go. Back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan.
En dat is jaren
He's agreed
blijkbaar.
to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Hey! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible.
Yeah.
First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony.
Kill.
I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. There's Big Chris,
Oi, oi.
Little Chris,
Oi, oi.
and Vampire Chris.
Lijp.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
1 sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
Wie is daar nou weer?
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
Sopen!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you.
Wat voor vissa is dit nou weer?
The little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Jesus!
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, let's believe that!
Well, we're
daar
just
gaat
trying
hij.
to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me?
Dat is één gekke B-Day-bash.
Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought. I've managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some play.
Maar deze kerel.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jij was content met reclames?
That went well.
Ja.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with
Muziek,
the
oké.
music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove.
Ja, aangezien het als hij mijn baak overnemen.
Tip: when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Oké, wat gebeurt hier?
You'll still be picking facts out of your
Dat is
face
die
the
kerel.
following Wednesday.
Alan James, coming to a city near you. Check local press for dates and times.
Oh.
Well, where is he? In his dressing room, probably.
Ga weer terug, oké.
Look, it's alright, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way.
Wie zijn dit allemaal nou weer?
How hard can it be? This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody. We're gonna open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4,
Oké,
3.
hier.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's
Wat
Culture
zei ze?
Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Goed om te weten.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
Eeuw, ik moest zijn
So I
stem
went to
echt
look
niet.
for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Wat gedaan?
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I
believed
just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
and teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Oh.
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it.
Nee, ik ook niet.
That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be
Damn.
voting from now on.
Zo gaan die dingen
Do you
dus.
know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But
wat
we
dan?
did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we ballywell are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Okay.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears.
Fears.
But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner?
What's around the corner?
Wat gebeurt er allemaal, joh?
What's around the corner?
Oh, hi, Gary.
Oh, heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Wat?
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject.
Oh.
And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean, not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
Lijp.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But...
Wat was die, ja?
I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Oh. Dat was het?
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you.
Oh, we moeten vaak gaan switchen dus.
And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Oh, ik doe gewoon vol switchen, oké. Wat is dit allemaal, joh?
So stop now, make a different choice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your crew laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, lekker barst.
Kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist.
Bum, bum, bum.
I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my hummus for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner? Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy.
Yeah.
Ik hem nou.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Oh, oké, dat is klaar.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And
Reclame.
we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
Oh, reclame,
I
oeps.
believe that was art.
Of het te laat met reclame.
14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Ik weet niet of dat ze moest censoren.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Oké, het was één gekke episode. Als dit het nieuws is daar, joh. Oké, wat hebben ze hier gezegd?
All the ups and downs to help make things even better. With a vast range of activities available, building the nation's future has never been so rewarding. With the Go-Getters, you can be sure that your children will be well equipped in the march towards progress. After all, there's nothing better than moving forwards. The advanced Go-Getters. Forwards together.
Oké, interessant. Even kijken. We hebben een dubbele A+ en een normale A. Oké, niet slecht. Ook niet slecht volgens mij. Dan gaan we lekker door. Echt een gekke aflevering was dat. Nieuws. Aflevering. Dan gewoon 53. Oké, we hebben eindelijk weer een aflevering. Yellow.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here.
Wie?
Your boss.
Oh.
While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it.
Oh.
You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot.
Oké, en welke is dat? Wat deze? Oh, die moet gescoord. Die moet als tweede dus. Wat is dit?
Oh, how's it going with Steve? Why are all men such pricks?
Nee.
Apparently he has a complicated relationship.
Ja. Ja, en dan doen we deze van de vorige. Nee, niet die. Die. Oké.
I don't know why I talked to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
Waarom is het donker, joh?
Everybody, like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to
Dragon.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bloodbath avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehugs is found and destroyed, we ask, how can we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy.
Oh, dat scheelt.
How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Questions have been raised about the government's judgment, with Prime Minister Peter Clement forced to apologise this morning for seeming to endorse the self-combusting plaything in this publicity shot taken last Christmas. Let's hope his niece recovers quickly.
Table for 2. Johnny Hamsleys and Tiffany Lamore were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year. And this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Wat is de naam, joh?
One celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport.
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today. Though its critics are skeptical that the young CEO can fulfill
ik wil die andere foto, maar deze maar, joh.
Master 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble flawed.
with that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Die was stabiel. Hoe een gekke intro. Okay, alles is hier Gucci. Hier is wel alles Gucci. Het is wel lekker donker. Jeremy en Meghan.
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been pleasant.
That's right, Meghan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Meghan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. It waters.
Ik weet nog niet of je... Blijf maar op deze.
Forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope.
Wat was de sensor daar?
My sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
No. My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddispatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room are the same bloody
Wat zijn dit voor sensors, joh?
Having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you
Wat
say
er
to
Jamaican
people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead.
Ik ga stuk.
I wonder what happened to him. Yes, I remember.
Wat dan?
Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off to the woods.
Oh, good times.
Sensor.
That's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
Oh ja, hoe reageer je erop?
And rebel. We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words.
Het is één spraakprobleem, joh.
Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts in an undressed bare chest protest.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's starting!
Please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right,
Wat gebeurt hier nou weer?
Tilly! Get the dog!
Tilly's our mummy. She's proper cracked off too.
Wat gebeurt allemaal?
At least you are showing some shame.
Uh-oh.
Free at last! Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already.
Gebeurt het in Alabama al zo?
Boy, he gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be fucking well heard, that's all.
Oh, language, Penelope. We are nude, not rude.
Sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise
slogan.
we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Spaff and pip.
Moet bloody niet. Wat is gebeurd?
Are you okay?
Uh-oh.
Well, shut up and get your
Well,
Oh, lijf.
Meghan, as this embryonic protest
Ja, laten we maar teruggaan.
it's back here in the studio. I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in Moderate Hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story we want to be keeping an eye on, eh?
Nou.
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy.
Ik wil net zeggen.
I've seen enough shaft work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have.
Ik ga stuk.
Can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
Uh-oh.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, oops.
Oh, sorry, I'm busting.
Reclame.
Oh.
Let er niet op.
She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome.
Mhm.
Why is it raining on my desk?
We hebben concurrentie.
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the Sports Board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake.
Okay.
Wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
3mm finishing pin. Oh, the cast iron hexagonal fixing screw and many more. Every week, alongside your iron
Okay, dus we moeten naakte mensen censureren en blurren. Oké. We maken het maar schoon. Ik weet niet hoe ik het allemaal moet doen. Maar ik doe het op zich niet zo slecht. Tot nu toe nog een A+.
No postage, no packing. Plus you'll also receive this exclusive little bit of drill bit absolutely free. So, what are you waiting for? Start collecting today.
We gaan weer even...
The joy of screws. The only
Oh,
complete...
zo. Ik wil even weer luisteren.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
I want to see us fry. It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
Oh, like.
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the lanky hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. Striker, go first. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. D-Robe. Harris, perhaps.
Wat gaat er gebeuren, joh?
Not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time.
Wat gebeurt er?
On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball.
No shit.
Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker.
Oké, dus je moet er gewoon erin mikken.
All right. She's got sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Was there contact? Don't know why you complain. To Harris. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Football. Move back. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know?
Oké. Erin.
Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope the round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Of ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
Nee, totaal niet.
Striker giving it large.
Second round, double. Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast.
Wat de hek gebeurt allemaal?
We're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's body, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. You know, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumbscrew? We haven't seen that since the
Ai,
hit.
nee.
What a brilliant move.
Nou, zo briljant was het ook weer niet.
Back to striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound.
Hè?
Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping.
Wat is dit voor spel, joh?
The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there.
Oh, hoezo?
But he is a late bloomer, of course, boys said that. And after all, it is a game of two halves. 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over.
Ai, nee.
I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television.
Wat is dit allemaal, joh?
And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Hopen niet, nee.
Ballboy cannot be in the final pose.
Oké, gekke moves.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nee, nou. Nog niet.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies.
Oh, late.
Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket.
Wat gebeurt er allemaal, joh?
Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 bouts. So, here we go. Tommy Harris.
Okay, wat voor move nu?
Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever.
Hoezo? Is dat goed?
Perhaps a little contact.
Hoe veel staat het eigenlijk?
If you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course...
Waar moet ik aan toe?
Because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Nonsense is going on here.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on!
This is the mime round.
It's an absolute bloody...
We gewoon doorgaan met het spel, joh.
Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it?
Nou, ik niet.
Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in at this point. Really high level play here.
Wacht hij nou de bal die... Wat? Hè?
Hold.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands.
Oh. erin.
And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker. But she's in it.
Is de bal erin gaan of niet dan?
On it, like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris.
Ik heb ook geen idee.
And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please.
Wie heeft er gewonnen dan?
Of the first annual Sports Board Championship is
everyone! Okay,
iedereen.
Once again, a win for everyone, including me. It's my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
En we gaan naar de uitbreak.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me.
Oh, like.
Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Bozeman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance. The storm is playing havoc with the electrics, and you might notice the odd spark. Nothing to worry about. Happens all the time.
En dan?
Dave got shocked into a coma last year, but he was up and at 'em the next day. Anyway, our compensation package is parallel to none. Good luck. Bozeman out.
About all these buckets, we seem to have sprung a leak.
Okay, live.
Well, several actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple seal that shit.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
Waar is Jeremy?
But that's a firm handshake you've got.
Oh, dat 20 seconden live.
She looks. Am I here?
Here with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, Jeremy.
Have you had a little accident?
Jeremy.
5, 4.
Ai nee, Jeremy.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be.
Woke or?
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more
Wat dan?
exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
Spinnen.
It's death, pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry,
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
okay?
sorry, yes, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that.
Lol.
He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to.
Hoe dan?
The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. Yes. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
It's given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Nou, het is er niet goed uit buiten.
We're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry, my apologies all.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a roadshell face, fucker! That was massive! Right, no, this bastard's coming off!
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of...
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Was dat?
Go get yourself sorted out.
Offline? Nee, niet.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
Hey, Jeremy's
You
terug.
move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
My man.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time.
Aye.
My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Zal mijn best doen.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So they just... I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
En we zijn offline.
Transition the moment I start the leak.
Oké, we hebben het gehaald, joh. Ik weet niet wat er allemaal gebeurde. Maar het is gebeurd. Triple A, ja toch, dat zie ik graag. Oké, ik dacht een goede bonus. Technisch gezien niet negatief, oké. I'll take it. En alles is hoger behalve channel 1. Ja. Oké.